Number 5, designated hitter Spencer Kuhn.
Welcome to an afternoon of Pleasant Grove Hawk playoff baseball, where Pleasant Grove is going to be facing the Bobcats of Celina. Celina is actually coming in ranked number 1 team in the state, and they have a 34-5 record coming in, and they have been clean so far through their playoff games. The number 1 seed coming out of 11-4A. But they are going to be matched up today against Pleasant Grove, coming in with a 25-8 record, also the number 1 seed out of the 15-4A district. So we should have a very well matched game today, Dodie. The weather's a little warm, but it's baseball season.
It is. It's very nice. It's a little humid after the rain the past few days, but it's becoming very nice outside with the wind, especially whenever the wind's picking up. And so whenever we have that going, it's nice. I'm excited for a good baseball game. Salina, they lost their 2 main pitchers last year. Whenever we saw the Hawks face them last year, they went to Baylor and Oklahoma. And so now they're trying to replenish as far as pitching goes and trying to make the best with their bats.
Well, Salina's already had their batting order announced, so we'll try to catch up real quick. But batting first for Salina is going to be Zach Henderson, followed by Robbie Rabe, followed by Major Brignan, Kingston Hangartner, Preston Baker, Spencer Kuhn, Gavin Reed, Ethan Delgado, Jose Mendez, and today's pitcher for the Bobcats is going to be Brady Brokel. And so we do not have any stats from Celina. If you're a Celina fan and have access to those, feel free to send those to us in a direct message. We were not able to get any stats on them, so if I share any today, I'm probably just making them up.
I was able to get a roster of and where the players are committed to or signed to. Connor Robbie's committed or signed to Odessa College. Ethan Delgado is going to Ecclesia Christian College. Spencer Kuhn, Navarro College. Major Brignan is going to ULM. Jose Mendez, Cedar Valley College. Zach Henderson, Indiana State. And Kingston Hangartner is going to Northern Oklahoma College in Tonkawa.
Well, when you've got a list like that, that is going to be a pretty good case on why they are the number 1 ranked team in the state when you've got a team that stacked that heavy, getting offers from colleges out there. And so it'll be interesting to see how they're able to come out here to Cass County and play here at the Atlanta Rabbits field. Appreciate their hospitality. We'll take a moment here to honor our national anthem. Well, we could not be doing this without all of our many sponsors, and we did have 3 come on this week to help with the payment to UIL to be able to stream this. And Dodie, why don't you share those who came on board this week?
Absolutely. We want to give a huge shout out to Mims Insurance Agency. For all your insurance needs, go over to 903-223-6533. Browning Homes. Mr. Kevin Browning sitting right next to us with his son Spencer on the team. And also another parent, Anderson Orthodontics. Go over there if you got any teeth need fixing. Go over there and see Mr. Anderson. We appreciate all of our sponsors for contributing.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely want to give them plenty of kudos for stepping up and helping us out with today's stream, and all of our other sponsors that you'll see on our screens in the corners, as well as commercials during our breaks. And I do want to go ahead and share the batting orders for Pleasant Grove as well. Brenton Clark coming in playing second base. Jared Halter is going to be playing shortstop. Spencer Browning at third base. Cade Martin back at the plate playing catcher. And today's pitcher is going to be Hunter Rose, who is going to lead the Hawks off into game one in this series. DHing is going to be Buck Anderson, and center fielder Jay Selrod, followed by Landon West in left field, and Ty Boozer at first, and then Walker Wright will be in his spot out in right field. And Hunter Rose taking his last few pitches. Expect to see Cade Martin fire ball down to second base here soon. There it goes, right on the mark. So we're going to get this game underway here pretty quick, where center fielder number 11, Henderson, is going to be up to bat first for the Salina Bobcats. Cade Martin, Hunter Rose having some last-minute conversations on the mound. Beautiful day for baseball.
It is, and I think a huge thing that's going to play a factor with especially whenever Pleasant Grove comes out to bat, is the wind. The wind is tailing right and out, and as you can see, they have those cones marked off where Billy got his windshield wrecked last time.
Hunter Rose makes the first pitch right down the middle for a called strike one against Henderson. Henderson batting from the left side. Little off-speed pitch stroked out into left center. Ball being thrown into the infield. So Celina right off the bat with a double. Henderson standing up. I think he slid for the fun of it.
That's a great way to start for Salina to get ahead early. This is going to be a tough matchup all day. Take opportunities when you can get them.
So we've got Robbie Rabe stepping in, second batter for the Bobcats. Catcher, and he is deep into the batter's box. Not quite on the inside line of the batter's box, but he takes a first pitch high from Hunter Rose. Henderson staying relatively close to second base. Looks back and checks where Brenton Clark is. Brenton Clark is not holding him on. Jarrett Halter giving Rose some signs on what they may do with the runner on second base.
Tough second pitch there, gets called a ball.
Yeah, Robbie, good eye there, matching up with the umpire's call there. So we've got 2 balls. Hunter Rose behind Rabe here, facing his second batter of the day. Fastball hanging on to that outside corner. That takes the count to 2-1. Henderson Rabe stepping out and stepping back in. Rose has his foot on the rubber, ready to make a delivery. And batter calls timeout.
A little too much time there between signals from Martin and Rose. Got a little uncomfortable in the box, so he's calls time and allows himself to reestablish.
Rabe still with his back foot on the back of the batter's box. A rip, but it's going to go foul, out of play. Doesn't quite make the parking lot, so somebody has the opportunity to at least get a souvenir for a little bit before they are required to throw it back into the field. So we now have a count of 2-2. Hunter Rose comes in with a ERA of 147. I'm sorry, no, 0.575. It's under 1. Ball hit out to right field. Walker right under it, makes the catch. No tag. Gets the ball in pretty quick to Jarrett. So one away for the Pleasant Grove Hawks.
Stop. Major Brignan.
Yeah, Hunter actually gave up his first earned run of the entire season last week against Lindale. In a tough game against them where the Hawks ended up coming back and run ruling there in that 5th and 6th inning.
Yeah, Hawks put up 9 runs in the 5th inning, I believe, and so we've got Major Brignan, number 8, DH, up to bat. Henderson staying fairly close to second base. Got an off-speed pitch that was fouled directly back to the net. So Hunter Rose ahead in the count here with 0 balls and 1 strike. Hunter Rose taking some extra time looking at the call sheet. Pleasant Grove infield playing this one in their normal depth. Fastball on the inside corner. Take the count to 0-2. Hunter Rose well ahead in the count here on Brignan. Henderson only a few steps off second base. Delivery, swing just a little bit behind, fouls it to the right side. Count remains 0-2 for Brignan here in the first inning. Mentioned the wind at the beginning of the game, probably right around 10 or 12 miles an hour going out towards right field.
You heard it there.
And fights off another pitch. Brignan taking Rose's pitch count to the 10th of this inning. Salina third base coach giving Henderson some extra discussion topics, basically telling him to watch Brenton Clark coming in behind. Rose gets his call from Cade Martin. And on the inside, taking the count to 1-2. Brignan steps away from that pitch. Digs back in, Rose looking for the sign. And that ball actually bounces into Cade Martin's glove. Cade Martin doing a good job there, being a good backstop, keeping that ball in front of him, keeping Henderson from being able to advance to third base on a pass ball. Takes this count to 2-2. Brignan able to get this count even. Rose does take a step towards second base, but no throw.
Very slow and methodical game so far by the Hawks. Trying to kind of cut the energy out of the Salina dugout.
Go after the advanced runner. And Spencer Browning able to make a good tag after a well-played ball from Halter.
And that was the perfect play right there. I mean, Halter saw that the runner was advancing. He didn't have to advance in that situation, and so he took advantage of it, made that perfect throw to Spencer Browning, and got the second out of the inning.
So that's going to bring up Hayne Gardner, the first baseman for the Bobcats, number 15. So with Brignan on first base, we've talked about this before, but Hunter Rose has an incredible move towards first. But first pitch goes to the plate, and that is fouled off by Hangartner. So Rose is ahead already after just one pitch against Hangartner. So 2 outs in the top of the first inning as the Pleasant Grove Hawks, there's a throw over to first base just to keep Brignan honest. So this game is actually a postponed game from earlier in the week due to the rain. Another pitch to first. A little bit closer play, but Brignan back in time, able to slide underneath the tag of Boozer.
They had the double cancellations this week, the one originally for ETBU and then the one in Denton as well.
Delivery to the plate. Cade able to frame that up, but not before the umpire was able to detect that that was a little on the outside. So we've got a 1-1 count here to Hangartner. 2 outs in the top of the first. Another throw over to first base. Hangartner digs back in. Fastball right down the middle, fouled directly behind Hangartner there to take the count to 1-2. So mentioned Rose has pitched 24.1 innings so far this season, coming off of a hand injury and with 23 strikeouts. So almost a 1-1 ratio there, strikeouts to innings pitched. And impressively holding teams to just a .147 batting average in his time on the mound so far. So that last pitch was a ball, so that does even up the count at 2-2. Brignan only taking a couple steps off, does take one more. That ball is pitched and outside, so we do have a full count. Both fan bases starting to chirp a little bit more as got a potential last pitch of this inning or one that would extend it. And we've got a called strikeout for Hunter Rose on Hangartner. So we have 0 runs scored in the top of the first inning, so we'll see what Pleasant Grove can answer after this commercial break.
My name is Doug Willett. I own M&M Tire and Auto Center. We've been here for over 40 years. We're just a mom and pop place. We service any type of vehicle that you can think of. We do front end alignments. We've got the best front end alignment machine guys here, and we also do AC work. For the new Freon, which is the 1234 FY, we do that too. Plus tires, now that's the major thing. Cooper Tire employees, we're really special with them. We give you 15% off, plus also you get your Goodyear employee refunds back on your tires, which is great for you. Extra value is what you get when you buy from Doug Willett. Don't worry, my guys will take care of you too.
So the weather, we're coming in at 89 degrees here in Cass County at Atlanta Rabbit Field, where the Salina Bobcats are on the field for the top of the first inning, as Pleasant Grove was able to get out of that inning with no runs scored for the Bobcats. Pleasant Grove seeing if they can put a number up on this first inning here. Don't have any numbers on Brokel, but with him coming out firing as the first pitcher of this series, you have to assume if he's not the number 1 pitcher, he's their number 2.
I can tell already from Warnos he has a little bit of a side action movement instead of the typical over the head, and so he's going to come at a different angle than some of these guys are used to seeing, and so we'll see how that plays a factor in each at bat.
Well, he'll have the opportunity to face Brenton Clark, coming in with a .453 batting average, leading the team in hits with 48. He is also leading the team with singles at 29 and doubles at 9, and also has 3 home runs under his belt. So Brenton Clark doing a fine job behind or at the plate this year. And has really solidified that second base position for Pleasant Grove. He is an Arkansas commit. So gives Salina Bobcats a fist bump there as the catcher comes back. First pitch. And that pitch comes in a little bit low on Clark. Good eye there for the first ball pitched by Celina.
And we will take you back to the last time that Brenton played first at bat here in this ballpark. He took it yard against Liberty Allo, and so he's going to look to have that same success in his first at bat against Salina.
Well, he does have a good eye on those first 3 pitches. So we've got 3 balls and no strikes as he looks to earn his way on base by a walk, possibly.
And Breckel, completely different delivery. He pitches a lot faster than Hunter is, and so on Salina's side, it might be a little bit quicker of a game.
Yeah, Clark does have 23 walks, second on the team, and that is going to be his 24th of this season, where he earns his way to first base after just 5 pitches, only one of them being strikes. Jared Halter steps up to take his cut against Brokel. He comes in with a .286 batting average.
Shortstop, Jared Halter.
Brokel going to have to do a little looking over his shoulder just to see where Clark may be lingering over there off of first base. And a pitch to the plate for a called first strike on Halter, using all of the strike zone on that one. Goes Brokel. So Halter behind 0-1 as he faces the second pitch from Brokel. Crowd quietens down, a pitch over to first, but plenty of time for Clark to get back. So Clark definitely trying to keep Brokel's attention. Delivery, bunt, but pulled back. Very well there by Halter, since that was going to be outside. So we've got a 1-1 count here as Coach Venture gives both Clark and Halter the signals. First base is being held. And Halter takes another strike. Brokel really finding where the umpire strike zone is. That one on the low side, but called strike on Halter. So Halter is going to be here defending that strike zone from here on out. A little off-speed pitch gets Halter swinging and missing for Brokel's first strikeout of the evening. And that's going to bring up Spencer Browning,
Number 19,
who comes in with 4 home runs, batting average of .367. And he actually has 8 triples for the season, leading the team. Clark takes a small extra step. And the first pitch is going to be low against Spencer Browning here. Brokel looks like he's a very efficient pitcher. Throw over to first, but plenty of time for Clark to get back. Brokel not taking much time at all between pitches once he gets his call from the catcher. And Spencer Browning fouling this one back into the net to the right side, so that's going to even the count up 1-1 for the third baseman for Pleasant Grove. Looks down the line at Fincher as he makes the call to Browning. Clark taking some baby steps off first. Delivery. And this is going to be a looping ball to right field. Will it get down? No, it is going to be fouled just by a few feet. Browning basically taking the pitch that is given him and just driving it into third or into the right field line, but just a little bit foul. Both lines on this field are 310 and a little bit shorter than what Pleasant Grove has faced this year. but center field steps on out there at 360 and probably about 20 to 25 feet tall.
Yeah, it's 20 feet tall, dead center, 8 feet tall on the rest of the outfield, and then it's 310, 320, or 320, 360 coming out into the outfield.
So Spencer Browning fighting that one off to have the count remain at 1-2. So Brokel here for the pitch. That pitch is going to be on the high side. Rabe did take a look down at first base, but decided not to throw behind Clark. So Brokel looking down for the sign. And a swinging strike for Spencer for the second K of this inning. So Brokel making easy work from the last two Hawks that he has faced. Does
24, catcher, Cade Martin.
had the opportunity to face Cade Martin, who comes in with a 368 batting average and comes in with 30 RBIs and does have 2 home runs himself. Outfield playing regular depth against Cade Martin. A well-placed ball on an off-speed pitch. Cade Martin taking that over the shortstop's head to the left fielder. So he's able to advance on a single. So we now have Hawks on first and second. And Brenton Clark is going to be the first Hawk in scoring position, but we are going to have a pinch runner for Martin so that he can put his gear back on should that be needed. And that is going to be Christian May coming in, number 7 for Pleasant Grove. And that does bring up the pitcher, number 1, Hunter Rose for Pleasant Grove. He comes in with a 320 batting average.
Courtesy runner for the Hawks.
And he had some limited time this year batting due to his hand injury, but does come in with 7 RBIs so far this year. And he takes the first pitch. That one's going to be possibly a little bit on the outside for a first pitch ball. Brenton Clark out there staying relatively close to second base as Salina does have some movement behind him. And a foul ball called. That did not get past the line until it got right on the first base. Good thing about the playoffs, we do have a 4 umpire rotation, so an umpire there for the call. So that's going to take the count to 1-1 with 2 outs here at the bottom of the first here for Pleasant Grove as they face the number 1 ranked team, Salina Bobcats, with 2 men on base. Brenton Clark at second and Christian May on first base for Pleasant Grove. A rip to right field. Right fielder going back under the ball, able to make the catch. So Pleasant Grove does leave 2 runners on base, and that does take us to the top of the second inning, tied 0-0. We'll come back after this commercial break.
We are excited to announce here at Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital that we have expanded our capabilities to better serve our community. As a hospital, we have the capability for inpatient services. After your outstanding emergency care, we can smoothly transition you into one of our new inpatient rooms that have telemetry monitors in every room to continue your concierge medicine care. While our patients continue receiving their care in their inpatient suites, we also make sure that your loved ones are taken care of with our outstanding facilities. Our added services include a procedure room and also the capability of MRIs. With our imaging, we are able to offer outpatient, inpatient, and emergency room, MRI, CT, ultrasound, and X-ray. We are honored by your support and look forward to serving all your future medical needs.
Well, we're back for the top of the second inning as the Pleasant Grove Hawks are facing the Salina Bobcats. Pleasant Grove being the home team today, so they will be batting last, potentially.
Seeing a couple of Liberty Outlaw fans here showing their support for this game, but also kind of getting to look ahead if they're able to finish out their series against Benbrook. They got the win last night in run rule fashion after quite a late start after a few lightning delays, and so they got the 13-2 win, and looking to close out that series tonight again in Tyler Chapel Hill. I believe they'll be starting at 7 o'clock. We unfortunately aren't able to stream that.
At the end of the first inning.
Yeah, I was very, very pleased to see them 10-run rule them last night. Their opposing team actually had 3 shutouts in a row coming into that game.
3 no-hitters even. I mean, it was an incredible performance by their pitching staff. But last night they let errors get the best of them, and I think had more errors than hits allowed. And so whenever you kind of have those kind of nights, it's tough.
So Rose throws a ball for his first pitch against Salina's third baseman, number 7, Baker. So Baker takes a second pitch there for another ball. So Hunter behind 2-0 on the count against Baker.
Hunter kind of speeding up his movement now. So doesn't get a call there.
So Hunter throwing his third straight ball. So Hunter wanting to work fast. And a 4th straight pitch puts Baker on first base. Fincher just giving some words of encouragement from the dugout.
Designated hitter, Spencer Kuhn.
And so we've got Spencer Kuhn, number 5, coming in at shortstop for Celina on the left side of the batter's box. Pleasant Grove outfielders playing in their normal depth. Ty Boozer trying to keep Baker on first. Pitch is delivered. A bunt was tried to put down, but it is going to be foul. So Baker is going to have to make the trot back to first base. Kuhn just not able to get that bunt in between the lines. And with Boozer holding Baker on, that's going to require Hunter Rose to come off the mound to make that play should it be down the first base line, which it should be if well executed. Bunt being shown. Pitch over, and he does get him out. So great move by Hunter Rose. And we have been able to see that a few times so far this season. So Hunter Rose sort of helping out himself after 4 straight balls. So now Kuhn behind in the count and no longer with an opportunity to advance a runner. And Hunter Rose able to fire that one right down the middle past Kuhn. Swing and miss for strike number 2. And looks like we're going to have another runner on first base after Kuhn is hit by the pitch. Oh, fastball a little high and inside.
Number 4 right fielder Gavin Reed.
And Hunter put some heat on it. It's gonna leave a little bit of a mark, I'm sure.
And we've got number 4 right fielder who made the catch to end the last inning, Gavin Reed. Called to advance Kuhn here. And delivery is going to be a little bit high. Coach Fincher is going to take the opportunity to go out and talk to his pitcher after seeing 5 or 6 balls in a row. Looks like this is just going to be a conversation being had between Coach Fincher and Hunter Rose. There's times where Coach Fincher does bring on the infield, but that is not going to be needed.
Just a quick conversation between him and his pitcher, make sure they're on the same page. Nerves aren't getting the best of him. He's feeling all right. Just making sure you're covering all your bases to make sure you don't need to pull him a little early here.
The umpire did take about 10 steps out to the pitcher's mound, but Fincher, feeling it, made his way back to the dugout. And we've got a strike to even the count up to 1-1.
Another one of those pretty off speeds that Hunter can throw got the eyes moving of the batter and was able to get a swing and a miss.
So Baker on first base, not taking any extra steps. I think getting Baker thrown out has probably opened up his eyes. Hunter Rose looking for the sign from Cade Martin. And a soft toss over to first base just to keep Kuhn honest. Kuhn dives back, but not needed. So Hunter Rose is going to be making the pitch with a 2-1 count, decides to back off of the rubber, reset everybody. Kuhn takes a step back to first base. Rose ready to deliver the pitch. And another good job of framing there by Cade Martin, just not getting the call with any movement by the glove.
You can tell it's going to be a tough zone all night. He wants it in specific spots, and so that's going to create a lot of base runners, it seems like.
Well, that does take the count to 3-1. Pitch over to first. That throw over was just a little short. Ty Boozer having to go out and get it. Kuhn able to slide just directly before the tag. But good move again by Hunter Rose, definitely keeping the base runners close to first base. Another pitch over. And umpire really having to earn his keep over there, having to make some pretty close calls. That is another safe call after a pitch over to first. So Rose looking to throw this to the plate. Got a runner moving. And no one really covering the base there. Just wondering if that wasn't just a designed call to throw that directly towards Brenton Clark, trying to catch the runner maybe going past second base or not. But regardless, we do have a Bobcat in scoring position for right fielder number 4, Gavin Reed. Got a 3-2 count with one out here in the top of the second. No one holding the runner on. Delivery is a swing and a miss strikeout for Hunter Rose. And that is going to bring up second baseman
Ethan
Delgado. So Ethan Delgado is going to have an opportunity to face Hunter Rose with a Bobcat in scoring position, where he has Kuhn out on second base. Delgado crowding the plate, both feet touching the chalk, if we were having chalk on this turf field. And there is a rip out to left field. They are going to send the base runner in. He is going to score. Delgado is going to try to go to second base. The throw is not in time, so we have a double that is going to also be scored as an RBI for Delgado, and that is going to bring around Kuhn, who was hit by Rose and put on first base. So Salina draws first blood here in the second inning. So we've got 2 outs here with a runner on second base, and that's going to bring up number 10, left fielder, Mr. Mendez. So Jose Mendez has the same call to action that Delgado had, where he's got a runner on second base with 2 outs here at the bottom of, or top of the second inning here.
And we talked about how the bats have improved for Salina. Both of their hits so far are extra base hits tonight, both of them being doubles, and so they're trying to capitalize, getting extra bases and putting runners in scoring position to capitalize even more.
And throw back to Brenton Clark, but not in time. Safe is the call. So Hunter Rose keeping an eye out on Delgado. Mendez stepping back into the batter's box from the right side. Or I'm sorry, left side. An off-speed pitch comes in a little high on Mendez, so he takes a first pitch ball.
Looked like he was trying to go for a slider there.
Garrett Halter making some calls to Hunter Rose on how the second base is going to be covered, if it is. Hunter Rose looking at Cade, and that one is clunked off the helmet of Mendez. So that is going to be the second hit by pitch batter in this inning.
It looks like Coach Fincher is going to come out to the mound for some rosin for Hunter Rose, help him get a little bit of a better grip. Seems like he might be sweating a lot. So I want him to try and help his grip out a little bit more.
So we are now back at the top of the batting order for the Bobcats. So Henderson's going to have the opportunity to see Hunter Rose's delivery for the second time in 2 innings. And so Hunter Rose is looking at about to throw his 37th pitch of the afternoon. Umpire takes a couple of steps out to the mound to gather all the players up on the field into their positions so we can keep this game moving. So Henderson stepping back into the batter's box with 2 Bobcats.
Henderson, his second pitch, he took that ball for a double, and so he's going to try and look the same to have the same success. His is about.
And that is going to be a called strike as Henderson watches that one go into the glove of Cade Martin. Spencer Browning not quite on the grass, but he is a little bit in on third base on Henderson here. Left-handed batter. And that pitch is going to be just to the outside, so good eye there by Henderson to even up this count 1-1. And Brenton Clark is actually out in the grass at second base, just playing for a force at second should he get the ball. Hunter Rose still looking for his call sign from Cade Martin. And the pitch. A little high. We've got the count of 2-1, so Hunter Rose is going to.
And so the strike zone already is small as it is with his umpire. But whenever you add in the frame of Henderson, he's a short-statured guy as well, and so that makes it even a little bit harder to find that zone. And probably a big reason why that he's the leadoff man is because he can get on base, and looks like he has the speed to him as well.
This is the 3rd or 4th time that the umpire has actually made a few steps towards the pitcher's mound to try to energize this game getting started. So definitely wanting to manage this game and keep it going. So Cade Martin returns to his catcher position. Hunter Rose and Halter, I think they were just wanting to make sure that they were getting all their signs the same. So Hunter Rose going to have a 2-1 pitch here with 2 outs, with 2 runners on. Salina leads this game 1-0. Hunter Rose stepping off. And Henderson taking a couple extra steps as he steps out of the batter's box.
And that runner at second always throws a wrench in things because then it messes up your signals. You don't want to give anything away to him.
Well hit ball into center field. Elrod not able to get a good play on that as far as being able to shift his body to make a play into home plate. So Salina does advance another runner on that single by Henderson, who is 1 for 1 tonight and does have an RBI now as Salina able to get another one across the board. So Robbie Rabe, their catcher, who flied out in the first inning, is going to
Number 1 catcher.
Try to extend this inning. Cade Martin steps out and makes the call from the catcher position. Looks like Ty Boozer is going to hold Henderson on first. Spencer Browning back at normal depth again at third base. And the delivery. So Rabe takes a first strike pitch. As he looks down the third base line for his signal, and all base runners are also focused on the third base coach, looking for the call. Ray deep in the batter's box. And the delivery fouls it straight back. So Hunter Rose ahead on the count. 0-2 with 2 outs. Bobcats have been able to put 2 runs up. Mendez on third base. Looking to keep Hunter Rose occupied before just concentrating on the delivery of the pitch. 0-2 pitch on the way. Ray does watch that pitch go a little bit on the outside. So we've got a count of 1-2. Wind picking up just a tad. Blowing out to the right field. Base runners staying close to their bases, and a rip out to left field. But Pleasant Grove able to make the call, or able to make the play. Landon West coming underneath that ball, but not after Salina puts up 2. So we're going into the bottom of the second. See if Pleasant Grove can answer Salina's 2 runs in this second inning.
Life is busy, and we get it. The State Bank mobile app was designed to make banking more convenient for you. Check account activity, make transfers, pay bills, and manage your debit card in a snap. You can deposit checks from the convenience of your home or wherever life lands you. The State Bank app lets you organize your accounts, manage alerts, and easily email our customer service experts. Now that you have State Bank at your fingertips, you can spend more time doing what's important to you.
Your family, your bank, State Bank.
We're back where we have the bottom of the second, where Pleasant Grove trails the Salina Bobcats, and have some ace reporting coming in from Chase Brewster, who shares how Brewster's last outing was against Godley. He came in and pitched 6 innings with 1 K, only walked 1, did allow 6 hits, and gave up 2 runs, and 63% of his pitches were strikes. So definitely want to give Chase a shout out on sharing that information. And it looks like he's their number 2 pitcher, and their number 1 pitcher is going to Navarro, and their fastball reaches into the low 90s. So pretty salty for a high school player. But Brokel is going to have Anderson up to bat. So Buck Anderson coming in with a .258 batting average, and he has gone yard once so far this season. And so he's going to look to try to get a rally started here for Pleasant Grove. Take the opportunity to give his dad's orthodontic office a shout out, since one of the sponsors to get our stream paid for today.
Absolutely. Thank you to Anderson Orthodontics, Mrs. Jan Anderson, helping us make that happen.
So we've got a line out straight to the second baseman there by Anderson for the first out of the inning. Brokel only throwing 20 pitches so far in a 1 full frame and just 1 batter. But that's going to bring up Jace Elrod, center fielder, coming in with a .313 batting average. And he also is one of the Hawks that has home runs on the board. He's got 2 this season. Jace Elrod takes a swing but fouls this one back to the net. It does make its way back onto the playing surface. And so Brokel decides he liked that ball, so he's going to continue to pitch with it. So Jace Elrod behind on the count with his first pitch foul. Count is 0-1. And we've got a pitch that low strike called on Elrod. So 0-2 count. Elrod showing the bunt just to try to do some gamesmanship. Pulls it back and swings this one, fouls it off, but it does go over the net. So we will get a new ball for play. Jace Elrod digging back in. shows the bunt, but pulls it back once again. And that pitch outside and bouncing into the glove of Robbie Ray. All right. Fighting off pitches. This one is going to be foul as well. Chase Elrod moving that pitch count up just a little bit for Brokel. So Brokel now has a 1-2 count here against Jace Elrod. Infield playing normal depth against Elrod. Right field in. Elrod watches a pitch go outside. Right in line with the batter's box chalk. Salina crowd warning that one as a call. It was framed back into the strike zone.
Catcher thought it was a strike.
And we've got a Elrod thinking that was his 4th ball, but that was only the 3rd one. And typically that does widen the strike zone in my experiences.
That's what he's opening for, at least.
So Elrod is going to have a full count with 2 outs. And rips this into center field. It is going to drop. So Elrod does get a single right over the second base and head of the pitcher. The Pleasant Grove dugout has a little life in it as Landon West is going to have an opportunity to advance Elrod. West coming in with a .244 batting average and roams the left field when he is out on defense. Landon West digging in. He is also deep in the batter's box. Elrod taking a few steps off. He only has 6 stolen bases for the season, but does have some speed behind him. So Landon West takes a first pitch ball as he looks down the line for the call from Fincher. Ty Boozer eagerly looking on in the on-deck circle, wanting the opportunity to face Brokel.
That one right at the knees.
A pitch that the Hawk fans thinks was comical comes in. It's a low strike. So we have a count of 1-1 on West. Elrod taking baby steps off first, does dive back. No tag applied as Elrod is easily back in time. And we've actually got 2 runners that are taking a jog on the highway out there. I feel for them today.
They look like they're struggling.
I am watching them. And we've got a bunt placed. Brokel comes off the mound a little awkward, but is able to make the play to first base. So Elrod is able to, West is able to get Elrod over to second base. And so Pleasant Grove does have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. And that brings up one of the best 9-hole hitters, I believe, that are left in the playoffs. And that's going to be Ty Boozer coming in with a .350 batting average. Elrod taking a couple steps off second. Second base is not being covered by the shortstop, so second baseman is going to cover. Ty Boozer does take a timeout. Second baseman was making a move towards second base to cover, so I wonder if Ty Boozer, with him being very keen there, if he recognized something. Elrod takes a couple steps back as Brokel steps off the mound. Boozer digging in. Brokel definitely taking his time against Boozer here. And a pitch placed, but just outside as Boozer watches that one for a called ball. Elrod taking a few small steps off second. Boozer waiting to pitch a Brokel. And that one is going to be outside, so Boozer is going to take another pitch. Takes the count to 2 balls and 0 strikes. Pleasant Grove looking to try to get a run back with a base hit into the outfield, possibly advancing Elrod. And a swinging miss. Strike one for Ty Boozer. Boozer making a cut there, but a little bit of movement there. Not able to get the bat on the ball. No one covering. And a short ball out into right center field. Center fielder is under that and makes the catch for the third inning. So Pleasant Grove not able to answer and trails this game 2-0 to the Celina Bobcats as we go to the top of the third inning. We'll be back after this commercial break.
Whether you're looking for a new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, or maybe a new or pre-owned boat or RV, care for a car wash, had a fender bender, or you need service on your vehicle, boat, or RV, we have it all when you let us exceed your expectations at Greg Orr Auto, Marine, and RV in Shreveport, Texarkana, and Ashdown. Shop hassle-free and always be treated like family while choosing from our sensational selection. In Shreveport, visit Orr Acura, or BMW, or Cadillac, or Infiniti, and the Greg Orr Pre-Owned Supercenter. In Texarkana, Mercedes-Benz of Texarkana, Classic Buick GMC, Classic Cadillac, Classic Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Classic Kia, Classic Mazda, Classic Pre-Owned, The Classic Car Wash, Greg Orr Marine and RV, Greg Orr Collision, and Classic Chevrolet in Ashdown. Or visit GregOrAuto.com.
So we are back. Top of the third, Hunter Rose is staying on the bump. He comes into this inning pitching with 44 pitches thrown so far. And he's going to be facing number 8, Brignon, as he is looking to face Hunter Rose for the second time today. Cade Martin going out to have some words of wisdom for his pitcher. Pleasant Grove infielders returning to their positions. Cade Martin on his way back behind home plate.
Dennis Gerber asked in the comments, does the winner of this game get the winner of the LE Series? Yes. This is the regional semifinals in both sides, so the winners of each series will meet in the regional finals, and they will be headed to Austin.
So West having to get on his horse, but able to make a great play out in left field as he's able to track down that rip by Brignon, and that is his second fly out of the game. And so first baseman Hangartner, who bought a ticket and watched the third strike for a K his first time at bat in the first inning. And this ball is extremely high. Jared Halter under it, barely making a move for the second out. And so Baker, who earned his first try at first base on a walk, I believe if I recall it was 4 straight pitches, so Baker is yet to see a strike tonight. And that is his first one. So Hunter Rose ahead of the count against Baker. As Baker digs in. Delivery by Hunter. And decides to take a little bit off of that one, but it does stay outside to even up this count at 1-1. And we do have a called second strike on Baker. So we have a count of 1-2 for Hunter Rose facing Baker. And a called ball. Umpire motioning that was a little on the low side. And Hunter does answer with a strike. And Perlman making a good play, throwing that ball back to Hunter, put that ball back in play. Pleasant Grove looking to get out of this inning with no runs allowed with Baker up to bat. It's going to be a third ball to Baker. He has a full count. Hunter Rose taking off a little bit on that one, just not able to get that in the strike zone. So for the second time in a row, Baker is going to advance to first base. And that is going to bring up number 5, Spencer Kuhn, who was hit by pitch. Baker was thrown out with a pickoff. A swing miss by Kuhn. As a good delivery there by Rose. It actually looked like his move to first base and had me off a little bit. A rip to the third baseman. Spencer Browning takes one step over. So Pleasant Grove is able to keep a 0 for this inning on runs as they keep Salina off the scoreboard but still trail down 2-0 as we go into the bottom of the third here in Cass County.
Texar is a community-first credit union which has served members in and around the Texarkana area since 1951.
Having 3 offices and employing almost 100 people, today Texar serves citizens of Cass, Bowie, Little River, Miller, Red River, and Lamar counties.
Through the years, we've had many different names.
From our humble beginnings as Bowie County Teachers Credit Union to where we are today.
We are honored to offer our members quality service with exceptional products.
We also take pride in staying one step ahead when it comes to introducing the latest and greatest in banking technology.
From personal to commercial banking.
And turning houses into homes.
We believe in banking made easy.
To make life easier for you.
We're back here in the bottom of the third inning as Pleasant Grove looks to get some runs on the board. I want to give a quick shout out to Buddy Shelton who said, "What's up, Dodie and Jay?" And so we're very, very appreciative of those that have joined the stream. Would love to know where you're watching from, as well as liking and sharing this stream on your particular way that you're watching, whether it be Facebook or YouTube. And we have a rip out to center field. Center fielder is able to get underneath this. And so we do have Henderson making the first out as Clark was able to put that one out into play, but just not far enough for a home run. So that's going to bring up Halter.
Jared Halter.
Facing Brokel for his second time. Halter did strike out at his first opportunity to face Brokel today. And that pitch is going to be on the inside. So Halter eagle-eyeing that one and not swinging. And so we have a foul ball. Catches the catcher in the mask. Catcher taking a little extra time to put his mask back on, so that's going to even the count up 1-1. A off-speed pitch stays a little high on Halter. So that's going to bring a count of 2-1. Wind starting to pick up just a little bit. Got a ball down to the third base side. Third baseman makes a play, bounces it over to first base in time. Halter just not able to beat that out for the second out of the inning. So that's going to bring up third baseman Browning, who also had the fate of striking out his first time at bat against Brokel.
Spencer Browning.
And so we've actually got Michelle Hall from Atlanta watching our game being played in Atlanta. So Spencer Browning takes a called first strike. Spencer Browning wanting a ball a little bit higher in the strike zone. So he's waiting for his pitch to drive. And that one's going to be on the inside just a little bit. So we've got an even count at 1-1. And a rip out into right field. Right fielder's going back, and it is out of here for the first run for Pleasant Grove as Spencer Browning goes yard. And that is going to take him to his number 5 home run of the season. So Brokel no longer has a 0 on the scoreboard as he faces the Hawks here in the 3rd inning. Hawks able to put a run up on the scoreboard with a home run. So Browning able to reduce that lead by 1 run. See what Cade Martin can come in and can do. He actually had a single when he first faced Brokel. So the fans from Pleasant Grove get a little lively after that hit. So Brokel does fire a first pitch strike to Cade Martin. And Cade Martin just fights that one off, and it rolls to the third baseman. Third baseman is able to get the ball into his glove and over to first, so that does end the inning. But Hawks do put 1 on the board where they now trail 2-1 against the Bobcats. We'll take a commercial break as we go into the top of the 4th.
Craving Tex-Mex that tastes like home? Look no further than Tamales Mexican Kitchen. Family owned and operated since 1992, we bring Texarkana the freshest flavors this side of the board. We use only the highest quality ingredients, with fresh vegetables chopped daily. Our salsa is made from scratch with steam-peeled Roma tomatoes for a taste that explodes with flavor. We don't settle for anything less than USDA All-American meats, like our signature skirt steak fajitas. Every dish is made with love, from our kitchen to your table. Make Tamales your go-to spot for Taco Tuesdays, Enchilada Wednesdays, or any day you're craving a taste of home. Tamales Mexican Kitchen. Real, fresh Tex-Mex, tastes like home.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We want to thank you for tuning in. We also want to give a huge shout-out to our game sponsors for making this happen. With the playoff baseball, it gets a little bit tougher, but with these sponsors, we were able to make it work. Mims Insurance Agency, Browning Homes, and Anderson Orthodontics. Thank you again to these game sponsors for making this happen, and we appreciate you for your contributions to Pleasant Grove baseball.
Well, we've got a closer game. Pleasant Grove able to tighten it up just a little bit with a home run from Spencer Browning in the 3rd inning. So Hunter Rose is staying on the bump. He's going to be delivering his 56th pitch of the game as number 4 right fielder Gavin Reed is going to come in and face Rose for the 3rd time today. So due to some walks and hit by pitches and just a few hits, Bobcats able to put up 2 runs. I said 3rd time. That's actually only going to be his 2nd time he's faced Hunter. Reed actually struck out his first time facing Hunter Rose. And the throw's going down to second so we can get this 4th inning started. Umpire puts his mask on. Cade Martin goes out for his words of wisdom to the team. So Gavin Reed doing a few neck stretches as he's eager to get back in and face Rose here for the 2nd time today.
And let's see how that momentum carries over. Obviously a huge momentum boost with that home run. Let's see if they can carry it over on the defensive side with Hunter pitching and then carry it out throughout with their offense as well.
And once again, umpire wanting to get this pace of play up and running. He goes and makes a little visit.
Number 4, right fielder Gavin Reed.
Speed things up. So now we've got Gavin Reed digging in against Hunter Rose as he goes into the top of the 4th. And the first pitch is fouled back for a strike. Hunter Rose looking comfortable on the mound. Spencer Browning playing just inside the grass. And a pitch way outside. Martin not able to get a glove on it. That goes directly to the wall behind him. So 1-1 count here. And that one skips. Cade Martin able to knock it down. Umpire puts a new ball into play.
I think they're probably going to encourage Hunter to use some rosin again here soon.
Yeah, Hunter was needing some rosin in the previous series as well. And both these games were in the high 80s, so it is a little warm out there. And so we've got a foul tip, second strike to get this count to a full count. So we've got 3-2 here for Reed, who did strike out his first time facing Rose. Another foul tip. Ball is able to get through Cade Martin. So we remain at a 3-2 count.
There's a little action in the Hawks bullpen with Christian May getting a little loose.
And Reed does not do himself any favors there. That ball was definitely going to be on the high side, but defensively he does swing and put that off so that he can extend his bat. See if Hunter Rose can benefit himself with that swing on a ball that was most likely outside the strike zone. And a well-pitched ball, but that one is also fought off. And looks like the umpire was needing a few balls. He's getting two handed to him now. So Hunter Rose looking at a full count with no outs here as we start the top of the fourth inning. Another pitch that slips outside. So we have a walk of the leadoff batter here for the Bobcats. And in the second inning, Bobcats proving that they can
Number 2, second baseman Ethan Delgado.
basically manage some runs in with limited hits. So putting runners on base on walks and hit by pitch can definitely come back to penalize Rose. So he's looking to see what he can do with Delgado, who did rip a ball out. Got to double his first at bat. Shows bunt, but pulls it back for a ball.
And he was one of those that did capitalize on that double with runners in scoring position, allowed the first run to come in for the Bobcats, and was a big difference
Pitch
maker.
over to first in time. Reed able to get underneath that. So Rose once again sort of trying to take the game into his own hands by making a throw over to first. Delgado digs back in. Spencer Browning coming in for a bunt. That one pulled. Another high pitch there. There's 3 in a row. 4 out of the last 5 pitches have been on the high side coming out of Rose's hand. Browning coming in. Bunt shown. Played to the pitcher. Back to first base. Rose was thinking about going to second base for the lead runner, but thought against that and made the easy play to first, but not before Delgado is able to advance Reed.
Number 10, left fielder Jose
to sacrifice bunt. Reed over to scoring position. So Mendez, your left fielder, is going to be up to bat, and he was hit by pitch in the second inning. Delgado on second. So we got a called first strike here. Hunter Rose takes an extra step off the mound to appreciate that pitch. So Delgado coming off second base. And we've got a called timeout by Mendez. Did not like the amount of time that Rose was taking out there on the mound. Once again, Pleasant Grove trailing 2-1. A curveball just a little bit on the outside came directly off the table, falling out of the strike zone for a 1-1 count here with 1 out, top of the fourth. Salina leading 2-1 in this first game of a 3-game series. And we've got he is calling that a hit by pitch. Must have hit him in the wrist. So Fincher wants to get the expert's opinion maybe from the umpire. So Mendez is advancing for the second time today. Fincher maybe wanting to discuss it was part of the bat rather than his wrist. But no avail. Mendez does remain on first base. And Fincher, although graduation's today, trying to educate the umpire on what he saw occur. And so Hurlman joins Fincher to get him to come off the field before any additional words of wisdom come out of Fincher's mouth. So we're now returning to the top of the order with only one out. Bobcats have runners on first and second. And Henderson, who is 2 for 2 so far. And Henderson takes a first pitch outside by Rose. Halter calling the signs to see about keeping Reed close to second base. Mendez is over there on first base, not being held on by Boozer. So Hawk defense basically in regular depth, looking for double play ball here. And we've got a called first strike against Henderson, or at least throwing out the lead runner. So 1-1 count with one out. Henderson with 2 Bobcats on base. Hawk defense out in the outfield playing in their regular depth as well. We have a late swing. That ball goes to the third base side for a second strike. So Henderson behind in the count. 1-2. So Rose takes a step off the rubber. Haven't seen him hit the rosin in a few pitches. And this one coming right down the middle. Spencer takes a step on first, throws over, and it is in time. Henderson thrown out. So Hawks go 2 innings in a row, not allowing Salina to score. But Salina still remains up 2-1. See what Pleasant Grove can do answering in the bottom of the 4th as we go to a commercial break.
Diamond Bank walks with its customers through every step of life, side by side. From the first checking account in high school to the first home or business loan, Diamond Bank is committed to helping you with all of your financial needs. Diamond Bank's growth is the result of the growth of our customers, and we want to help you feel that same growth. We are proud to have the ability to give back to our local school districts, community organizations, veterans, customers, and more in a multitude of ways. Come discover the Diamond Bank difference with local people making local decisions for our local community. Stop by our current location in Texarkana at 5714 Richmond Road or visit us online at www.diamond.bank to see our products and services. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Well, we are back as Pleasant Grove is able to go 2 innings in a row without allowing Salina to score. But the 2 runs that Salina did put up in the second inning is all that is needed to cover the 1 run that Pleasant Grove has scored, and that was a shot by Spencer Browning, who homered in the 3rd inning. Pleasant Grove looking to at least tie this game up here in the 4th inning, and we're going to have Hunter Rose stepping up. So pitcher on pitcher duel here. Brokel only throwing 45 pitches thus far, so still has plenty of arm left in him going into the bottom of this 4th inning. So Hunter Rose is going to take on Brokel from the left side. This wind is definitely picking up, which could be a benefit to Hunter Rose, who does have 2 home runs on the year. He did fly out his first at bat. And he watches the first pitch on the outside for a ball. And so we've got a rip, but down the foul line as Hunter evens the count at 1-1 here in the bottom of the 4th. Third pitch of this bat is going to be high and outside. Looks like we do have some gust of wind coming in just into the double digits. Otherwise, it's staying just under 10. And there's a rip out into right center, but the center fielder is able to get underneath that. So Henderson is able to get underneath that ball and make that catch as Rose flies out the first out of the inning. And that is going to bring up Buck Anderson, who lined out in his first at bat, I believe, to the shortstop. Or maybe that was the third baseman.
Second baseman, I believe. Second baseman. Only saw one pitch, so possibly look to him to see more pitches this at bat.
Well, he does take a first called strike. And that ball is going to be just on the outside, so we're going to have a 1-1 count here. Anderson does come in with a .258 batting average, looking to get on base. And we do have a ball hit into the foul area. It looks like it's going to be out of play. Looks like the Salina first baseman, Hangartner, tried to get into the bullpen to make the play, but I don't believe that is allowable.
So they're going to take some time and make sure that gate stays closed.
I guess that does allude us to see that there is at least some folks in their bullpen. Looks like we've got a guy over there stretching. So Anderson does take a pitch, and that is going to even the count up to 2-2. Brokel just sort of shrugs off that called ball with the delivery. And a pitch well above the strike zone gets Anderson swinging. And so the second out of the inning is going to be a swinging strikeout by Anderson,
Number 6,
which is going to bring up the center fielder, Jay Selrod, who had a single with 2 outs in the second inning. See if he's able to do the same here at the top of the 4th. And he does take a first pitch ball.
On that last pitch, I think Buck was trying to expect that ball to break more down and got underneath it just a little too much and caused the strikeout.
And we've got a rip out to center field that does stay up. And Henderson able to get underneath that and grabs 2 outs himself as the Salina Bobcats hold Pleasant Grove to 0 runs here in the bottom of the 4th. We go into the 5th, Salina leading 2-1.
Hi, I'm Brooklyn Stevens, General Manager and Marketing Director for Local Habit Coffee Company. Local Habit exists to spark a revival of local communities and the beauty they inherently possess by bringing people together over exceptional third-wave coffee. We then want them to take the joy and good vibes they get from us out into their local town and go make something good happen.
One of our top priorities is providing exceptional customer service. We want to make sure our customers left better than when they came in. Our customers should walk away thinking about how incredible their coffee was, how nice and genuine their barista was, and how inviting and comforting our space is.
Come by today and enjoy a hot cup of coffee with us.
Well, we return as we start the top of the 5th inning. Hunter Rose being asked to stay on the bump for Pleasant Grove. He has only given up 2 runs, but trails by 1 run as the Hawks have only put up 1 so far today, and that is going to be a home run hit in the third inning by Spencer Browning. And Hunter Rose is coming into this inning with 74 pitches. Just wonder how much longer Coach Fincher is going to leave him out there. I do know that there was some action in the Pleasant Grove bullpen, but the way that the stadium is built and where I'm sitting, I could not see who was taking some warm-up pitches.
It was Christian May earlier, was getting a little loose, but you kind of figured that they could kind of go anywhere. They could go to shortstop with Jared Halter over there. They could go to right field with Walker Wright out there. Luke Flanagan is a possibility as well for any of these relief innings. But I have to remember as well, though, you have 2 games possibly tomorrow in Prosper.
And that was pitch number 56, and that was a ball to Robbie Rabe, who is the catcher and has flown out twice today. And second pitch to him in this at-bat is low, so we've got a count of 2 balls and 0 strikes. Third delivery is right down the middle. Not sure if Rabe ever took the bat off his shoulder, had no intention on swinging that one. And defensively pushes that one behind him, and that's going to even up the count at 2-2 as he fouls it directly behind him. So Rabe looking for his first hit of the afternoon. Continues to fight off pitches to extend his bat. Keeps the count at 2-2. Still look at temperatures in the mid to high 80s. Rabe requests timeout, and it is granted. Steps back in for the delivery. A high hit ball out into center field. Jace Edrod on his horse comes in under it and makes the catch as Rabe is consistent with his third flyout of the game.
Number 8, shortstop, Major Brignan.
So Major Brignan coming in number 8. Our announcer has him as a shortstop, but I have him as the DH. But either way, he's up to bat. So we've got a first pitch ball to Brignan here, who has also flown out twice. A swinging cut on a fastball that had a little tail there to the end. Rose working quick here, swinging strike as Brignan takes a couple of extra steps around Cade Martin and the umpire as he steps back into the batter's box. Hunter Rose delivering quick. A pitch right down the middle, fouled off as Brignan does everything that he can just to fight that one off. Hangartner politely goes and gets the foul ball. And we've got a hit out to right field that could be trouble. Wright able to slide underneath it. Makes a good play. So kudos for consistency for Brignan there for his third flyout for the game as well. So Hangartner comes in. He had a looking strikeout in the first inning, and he flew out in the third inning. And so he's looking to face Rose as Rose is about to deliver his 86th pitch of the game. Pleasant Grove playing in regular depth. That pitch on the high side, but close. Got some chirping from the Pleasant Grove fans on that one. And another telling fastball moves just a little inside there on Hangartner, and he swings and misses to even up the count here with 2 outs. The top of the 5th. A off-speed pitch, and everyone on the third base side wanted that one called, but the umpire not giving that call at all. And so Hunter Rose, probably a little dejected, throws that one outside. 3-1 here on Hangartner. And a swing miss Hangartner. So we've got a full count with 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Hangartner yet to get on first base, but he does earn a walk as that pitch is low. And so we may have some changes here being made for a pitch runner for Hangartner. See if these eyes can pick out what number that is on first base. So Salina looking to add maybe some speed that Hangartner did not have to allow Baker to possibly advance. But Baker is yet to earn a hit against Rose. He has walked both times that he has faced Rose today. Still not able to make out the number of the runner on first base, but once we do know that, we'll share that. So Baker digs in. A couple extra steps from the base runner. Throw over to first. And wow, we've got a tag on the runner. And the most important coach right now may be Perlman for the Pleasant Grove Hawks, keeping Fincher closer to the dugout with 2 calls this inning, questionable at best. Boozer stays on first base. Another pitch over, and this one gets past Boozer. Number 17 is the runner. That is going to be Colin Thode, who advances on a
number 17, Colin Thode.
Error throw over to first, and that is going to cause Fincher to come out and have a conversation with Rose. Rose stepping off towards first base. And Rose pitches the ball up to himself, but it does look like Fincher is going to call his infield in. See if he does grab the ball from Rose or allows him to at least try to get out of this inning to save some arm of other Pleasant Grove Hawks. And Fincher once again staying out there a little long for the umpire to walk out. Neither one of them wanting to make eye contact with each other. See these nice shades that the umpire's wearing. I think some regular glasses may be on call for him for the rest of the game. But that's just my opinion. All righty, so Baker now has a runner in scoring position with 2 outs here. Top of the 5th. So Hunter Rose regroups to try to get this 3rd out. And that pitch is going to be high and outside as Baker takes a first ball. And the base runner not getting far off second. A well-placed pitch for a called strike. So we've got an even count at 1-1. Colin Thode is not making much of an effort to play that far off of second base, not wanting to get the 3rd out of the inning as a base runner. A framed up pitch, not getting the call as that ball was a little bit outside. As Baker now is ahead, 2-1 count on Rose. Pleasant Grove infield playing at regular depth. Jared Halter playing a little on towards second base's coverage. Have another called second strike here as Baker now has a 2-2 count. Rose looking for a strike to get himself out of this inning to take the Hawks into the bottom of the 5th, trailing by 1. But Bobcats do have a runner in scoring position, the pinch runner Thode. And that ball does bounce to Cade Martin, but he does keep that relatively in front of him. Thode thinking better than going to third base. So for the 3rd time, Baker has the opportunity to take first with a walk. And Hunter Rose asking for another ball. That one may be a little moist.
I think no matter the circumstance here, this might be Hunter Rose's last pitch at the ball game.
This one will be his 97th pitch of the afternoon. Relatively doing exactly what was asked of him. He's only allowed 2 runs. And that pitch is going to be high. So Baker is going to earn a 3rd walk. So we've got 3 Bobcats that have been consistent. You had Rabe with 3 flyouts, Brignon with 3 flyouts, and Baker with 3 bases on balls. So that brings up Kuhn, who lined out his last at bat and was hit by pitch in the 2nd inning. So 2 runners on for him as he takes a rip out into left field, and the first runner is going to be advanced. And not before. Kuhn does get a stand-up double. That does give the pinch runner for Hangartner Thode in for another score. So we now have a 3 spot on the board for the Bobcats. And so that may be it for Hunter Rose. Looks like Halter may be getting the call.
No, Christian May's coming in.
Okay, Christian May is going to be coming in.
Okay, Spencer's going to pitch, but Christian May's going to come over and play 3rd base, is what it is. So Spencer Browning's going to take the mound. Christian May will be at 3rd base, coming in and filling in. And then Hunter will move to center, if I had to imagine. Landon West is going to right field, and Jace Elrod is going to left field.
So that means Walker Wright will go to the bench. So Spencer Browning going to take a couple of warm-up pitches. And the umpires getting their chance to hydrate as Spencer Brown takes a few pitches to get warmed up. Spencer Browning coming in. Really hasn't been asked to pitch too much this season, but has pitched 16 innings. And in those 16 innings, he has had 14 strikeouts. His ERA has been at 2.57, and the opposing teams have had a batting average of 2.69. He has allowed 18 hits in those 16 innings. So he's going to put some trust in his infield and outfield to try to limit the harm here in the top of the 5th, where Salina has put up 1 run already and has 2 runners in scoring position.
Spencer came in a kind of similar position as this game whenever he came in that first game against Liberty Allo in this season. They were down. He came in and gave them excellent innings, didn't allow any runs, allowed the offense to come back, and ultimately got the win for the Hawks in that game. Like you mentioned, he hasn't pitched a whole lot this season. I don't believe he's pitched any innings in the playoffs, in fact. And so he's going to look to come in and kind of shake a little bit of rust off on the mound, but also be dominant for his guys.
Well, number 4, right fielder Reed is coming in. He walked the last time he was at bat and struck out in the 2nd inning. So he's still looking for his first hit of the evening. And we've got, not sure.
Time on the batter. But called it at the last second.
So umpire does give Browning the go-ahead, and he decides to step off the mound. So he's going to bring Cade Martin up just to make sure that they don't get any signals crossed. The pass ball here would most likely score.
And again, runner on second, so it's kind of messing with your signals. You're trying to go to your secondary or even 3rd set of signals that you might have because of that runner over there.
Yeah, I've been intrigued by the pace of play that the home plate umpire has required of this game on chats at the mound. And we've got an off-speed pitch that apparently is going to be a little bit hanging on the high side.
I think it came in a little bit inside, and that's what he's going to call it as.
So displeasure coming from the Hawks fans. And a foul tip into the glove of Cade. That actually did pop out, but that is going to be a strike against Reed here. So we have a 1-1 count with 2 outs here. In the top of the 5th, where Celina has already scored 1 and has 2 in scoring position. Cade Martin setting up on the outside, and that is exactly where the pitch comes in. Not getting the framed call. That's going to take the count to 2-1. Spencer Browning touching the rim of his cap. Looking for the sign from Cade Martin. And a ball hit. Center fielder taking a step back. So Rose able to get underneath that ball for a 3rd out, but Salina is able to extend that lead back to 2 runs, where they put another run across the board, lead the game 3-1 as Pleasant Grove looks to answer here in the bottom of the 5th. So we are back at Atlanta Rabbit Field here for the bottom of the 5th. And number 13, Brokel, the starting pitcher for the Salina baseball Bobcats, is also back to continue on the mound for the Bobcats. He's looking at throwing his 57th pitch here against West.
Now batting for the Hawks, number 21, left fielder Landon West.
And so the bottom of the order for Pleasant Grove coming up, asking for big things to try to start a rally here to get this game back to level, needing 2 runs this inning. And we've got a called first strike against Landon West. Brokel takes an extra deep breath, steps back onto the rubber. And a pitch inside. West thinking a few times about taking a cut at that one, but decides against that and earns a ball to level out the count. So Ty Boozer looking on from the on-deck circle as Landon West watches his second ball. And got a strike that could not be caught, being called by the umpire. Landon West takes an extra look back. That does even the count at 2-2. Distraction with the bunt being shown, but pulls it back. And a swing that was behind the pitch there. Landon not able to get the bat back in time to put a swing on it. And that does bring up Ty Boozer to try to start a rally here with 1 out. As Brokel went over 61 pitches with that last batter. A swinging miss with Boozer, who flew out his last at bat. Brokel with the delivery. An off-speed pitch that had Ty Boozer swinging early. Ty Boozer with an 0-2 count, looking to become a little defensive with the bat to get this ball into play. And he looks at that pitch outside for a ball. Wind is still blowing between 8 and 9 miles per hour to the right field wall. And that pitch was on the high side, so we've got a level count of 2-2. Not seeing any action in the bullpen for Salina. And a bat on ball, but that is going to be foul as it goes down the third base line into the Hawk dugout. Ty Boozer digging back in. Shows a bunt, but anticipated to pull that back. And a called strike there. Boozer not happy with that at all. But
Number 2, second baseman
Pleasant Grove fans still concerned with the calling of this game with the umpire behind the plate. That does bring up Brenton Clark facing Brokel for the 3rd time today. And that pitch framed up but does not get the call. So Brenton Clark ahead with a 1-0 count. Digs in to face Brokel here. And off-speed pitch, not able to get back around to the strike zone. Hangs on the outside as Clark is ahead. 2 balls to 0 strikes. And that pitch on the low side. Brokel takes a step off, thinking that one should have been a called strike. So 3 balls on the delivery. Not able to frame that up in time. So on 4 straight pitches, Clark earns a trip down to first base. That is his 2nd walk of the game, and that's going to bring up Jarrett Halter, who has struck out and grounded out. And looks like Salina is going to take some time to talk about things on the mound. We do have an arm in the bullpen. It's going to be a righty for Salina.
So they're trying to get a couple people in there. Getting them loose. This is the first meeting for Celina today.
And the umpire does want to go out there and energize this discussion to keep the pace of play going. And as you can see, the back of the hoodie of the coach says grit. That has been their team motto this year. So they have gritted out 3 runs so far today.
I think a really impressive thing about Salina that I think they added to their repertoire is the small ball game. They've not been afraid to lay down bunts. They've not been afraid to just move runners and put them in scoring position however they need to. And it's definitely added to their strengths on the offensive side.
We'll see what they do with Brenton Clark on first. And a lot of room on the right side for Jarrett with the first baseman holding Clark on. And Jarrett taking a swing on an off-speed pitch. Not able to get the bat on the ball for a first strike. Brenton Clark taking an average lead. Off-speed pitch, curveball is not able to get a called strike on the outside. So we have a 1-1 count here. Brokel looking at first base. And another curveball coming off the table. Jarrett Halter takes a swing and misses. So he is now behind the count with 2 outs with a 1-2 count towards him. Once again, Salina leading this 3-1. And we've got a ball that bounces into the catcher's hand. He was able to keep that in front of him. Rabe doing a good job there. So we've got 2 balls, 2 strikes in the delivery. A rip down the third base line, but that is going to be a little on the foul side. Let's see if Jarrett can straighten that out a little. He got around good on that off-speed pitch. Brenton Clark having to make the trot back to first base as he was moving with 2 outs. Perlman on the first base side giving some coaching instruction to Clark. And a rip to right center field. Center fielder, right fielder calling each other. The left fielder able to come over and make the play for the 3rd out of the inning. Pleasant Grove not able to answer, still trails 3-1 as we go to the top of the 6th with the Bobcats leading 3-1.
Meet Tony Langford Roofing, your trusted name in roofing solutions. Decades of experience and top-notch service. Passionate about your home safety, we treat every roof like our own. From repairs to full installations, we've got your home covered. Upgrade your roof with our variety of styles and materials. For roofs that last long, choose Tony Langford Roofing. We've got you covered.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Again, we want to shout out our game sponsors for making this game happen. Mims Insurance Agency, Browning Homes, LLC. Mr. Browning sitting right next to us, cheering on his son. His son got a home run, the only run so far for the Hawks. And then Anderson Orthodontics, Buck, been a huge part on the offense as well, gotten a few balls put in play. So we want to show our appreciation to these game sponsors for making this happen as we come back with Spencer Browning back on the mound.
Well, we had a little extra discussion between Brokel and head coach for Salina, and I think Brokel's probably done for the game. And so Coach Rich Sanguinetti, I'm sorry, that was the Lindale coach. I had the wrong page up. Anyway, the coach for Salina had a little discussion, and that's going to be Troy McCartney. So I have a feeling Brokel is done, but he has only allowed the Hawks to score 1 run. And so Pleasant Grove looking to keep that a 2-run game as Spencer Browning comes back and faces the Bobcats here in the top of the 6th. And we're going to have number 2, Delgado, come up and see if he can't get himself on base. He is 2 for 2 so far, a double and a single. I'm sorry, a sacrifice bunt in his last at bat. So he is 1 for 1, technically. So Delgado digging in, Spencer with the delivery. And that pitch is over and behind Delgado. And the umpire called that a ball. Delgado taking an extra little walk around the batter's box. Spencer Browning.
I think the umpire encouraging him to get some rosin back there.
A hit ball to third. We've got a play at first base, and so good play by Christian May there with the throw to first base, getting Delgado out for the first out of the inning.
Great play there by Christian, comes in. First play over there at third, makes a great snag on the ball and makes a good throw over to first. Get 1 out away.
Called first strike on Mendez, who is yet to put a ball in play. He has been hit by pitch twice, the last one hitting him in the ear hole. That ball being a little bit low. So Spencer Browning 1-1 against Mendez, who has earned his way on first twice today. And that pitch a little bit high, so Spencer, they 2 balls and 1 strike. And Cade Martin does a great job there framing, but just it's tough to get this call from the umpire today. So I believe the umpire's calling that count 3-0. And so Mendez earns his third trip to first base. That one, the base on balls, as that pitch is a little high on Mendez.
Number 11, center fielder Zach Henderson.
So we are at the top of the order for Salina as Henderson steps back up. And Henderson hit into a double play last time at bat. So he is coming in 2 hits so far today. Spencer Browning making a throw over to Ty Boozer. But Mendez back in time with the tag. A fastball in there. Not sure if the umpire is saying that was low or on the inside, but was not close enough for him to make a called strike. Spencer Browning coming in with a count of 1 ball, 0 strikes, and a runner on first. Spencer takes a little bit off of that one and throws that one down the middle. Henderson fouls that one off down the first base line. So we've got ones across the board with strikes, balls, and outs. That ball comes back into play. Spencer Browning digs back in on the rubber. Looks over to first. And does throw over, but Mendez back in time. Easy call as he slides into first. Rabe, the catcher, looking in from the on-deck circle, hoping to have the opportunity to bat this inning. That pitch is on the inside corner. Browning coming in with some heat. Actually causes his lid to come off, so he has to pick that up. Spencer ready to deliver, throws over to first. Back in time is Mendez. Henderson steps back in, 2-1 count. And that pitch called low for a third ball. Fincher staying seated in his area over there by the dugout. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out here in the top of the 6th. A rip out into left field. Jace Elrod moves over to get in front of that. Is able to get under it and makes the throw back into the infield. Mendez wisely gets back onto first base. So that's going to bring up catcher Robbie Rabe. And he has flown out 3 times so far today. Does have a teammate on first base that he's looking to advance. Browning's just looking to get out of this inning with no runs being scored. And that pitch, a high called strike. Rabe actually looks back and asks for clarification. Browning throws back over to first. That one a little bit closer than the past few pickoff moves. So Rabe deep in the batter's box. Another throw over to first base. Pleasant Grove outfield looking to play in regular depth. Looks like Rabe did call for time. Mendez does step back on first base. 0-1 count. And looks like we had a called pitch out to throw behind the runner. But Mendez back in time. Cade Martin does make a good throw to first, just not enough zip on it. And a pitch right down the middle. And Rabe wanted to talk about that one too. So Browning ahead in this count, 1-2. See some defensive swings from Rabe here. He does look at that one go outside. It's Spencer, no desire to give him anything he could hit, hoping he could just get him swinging at something. So we've got twos across the board. We've got 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Throw over to first, not in time. Spencer Browning set for delivery. A rip up to the middle. And we've got an easy play. Halter to Clark for put out at second base. Pleasant Grove trails 3-1 as we go into the bottom of the 6th.
My name is Doug Willett. I own M&M Tire and Auto Center. We've been here for over 40 years. We're just a mom and pop place. We service any type of vehicle that you can think of. We do front end alignments. We've got the best front end alignment machine guys here. And we also do AC work for the new Freon, which is the 1234 FY. We do that too. Plus tires. Now that's the major thing. Cooper Tire employees, we're really special with them. We give you 15% off, plus also you get your Goodyear employee refunds back on your tires, which is great for you. Extra value is what you get when you buy from Doug Willett. Don't worry, my guys will take care of you too.
Doty, my calls are a little bit better than the weatherman, but it looks like we do get Brokel for one more inning. But we do have some action in the bullpen. So Brokel probably asking for an extended stay, saying that he still has plenty of gas in that arm. He will be looking at making his 78th pitch. And the last pitch that Browning saw him throw was hit over the fence.
Yeah, he's looking to keep it beneath that 110 mark, and if he can do that, then this might be the last inning that the Bobcats have to pitch. But Hawks trying to put some more runs on the board. Spencer Browning, the guy up, is done it himself once tonight. See if he can do it again.
So the umpire is going to give Brokel 2 pitches to pitch, and then he's going to call this game back in play. So I'm eager to understand this pace of play call every once in a while. But sort of like when you're the boss, you get to make the call.
Good to be in that position every now and then.
Number 19,
So Spencer Browning is looking to be the boss of himself as he's looking to have an Amano little altercation here again with Brokel that he won last time. I do want to remind everybody that Browning did strike out the first time he faced him. And we've got a curveball that didn't curve that hung on the inside corner there for a first pitch ball for Browning. Not the pitch Browning wanted, so he did not swing. Wind is picking up just a tad. And Browning putting a rope on a low pitch, but way ahead of Brokel there as he rips that foul down the third base line. Spencer digging back in. And a swinging miss for Browning. Being asked to do double duty since he has taken up the pitching for this game for the Hawks as well. Distracting him with the show butt. And a defensive swing, foul that one back. So Brokel ahead in this count 1-2 with no outs here in the bottom of the 6th. And So we've got a ball to make the count 2-2. You start getting this deep into the game and behind a couple runs, you start counting outs. And so that one, catcher double clutching that one, wanting to call. But we've got a 3-2 count here for Spencer Browning. As he looks to make a dent. And a rip down the third baseline. Tries to run it, bounces it to the first baseman, but the ball is there in time. Spencer called out, not able to run that one out.
Really good job of scooping that one out of the ground by the first baseman. Tough play there.
So barring a tie game, Pleasant Grove down to their
Cade Martin.
Only 5 outs down, or 5 outs available for them to tie this game up. Cade Martin being asked to do that. Single in the first inning and lined out in the second at bat. So we've got a called ball. Cade Martin, as he watches that one stay out of the strike zone. The 85th pitch is a strike for Brokel. Cade Martin with a 1-1 count with 1 out here at the bottom of the 6th. That pitch tails outside, so we now have 2 balls and 1 strike. Hunter Rose looking on in the on-deck circle. A rip out into center field, being chased after. Center fielder Henderson able to come up and make that play. Cade Martin rips it out into center field, but not able to get it to drop in front of the center fielder. So Hunter Rose being asked to start a rally here in the bottom of the 6th with 2 outs. Pleasant Grove trailing the Salina Bobcats, #1 team in the state, 3-1. And Brokel throws a strike. This next pitch will take him to his 90th pitch for the Bobcats today. And that pitch coming off of the catcher somewhere. Umpire giving the catcher a little bit extra time to shake that one off. Takes a couple of steps out to the pitcher's mound and pitches Brokel the ball himself. So Hunter Rose looking at a 0-2 count. Pleasant Grove needing a explosion of hits here to get some runs on the board here in the bottom of the 6th. Rose wisely lays off of that outside pitch. Takes the count to 1-2. Ripped down the first base line, but first base able to make the play himself. So that is going to end the inning. So that is going to be the 5th inning that Pleasant Grove has not been able to score. So they be going to the final inning. Salina leading 3-1 over the Pleasant Grove Hawks.
We are excited to announce here at Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital that we have expanded our capabilities to better serve our community. As a hospital, we have the capability for inpatient services. After your outstanding emergency care, we can smoothly transition you into one of our new inpatient rooms that have telemetry monitors in every room to continue your concierge medicine care. While our patients continue receiving their care in their inpatient suites, we also make sure that your loved ones are taken care of with our outstanding facilities. Our added services include a procedure room and also the capability of MRIs. With our imaging, we are able to offer outpatient, inpatient, and emergency room, MRI, CT, ultrasound, and X-ray. We are honored by your support and look forward to serving all your future medical needs.
We're back in the 7th inning of this game against the #1 state Salina Bobcats and the Pleasant Grove Hawks, who trail 3-1. Pleasant Grove looking to hold off Salina scoring any more runs and looking to put up 2 in the bottom of the 7th to try to extend this, or possibly put up 3 to take this game away from Salina, who has led this since the 2nd inning when they posted 2 runs. So number 8, Brignan, is being asked to face Spencer Browning here in the top of the 7th. He has flown out all 3 at-bats. And we'll add a 4th maybe if this stays in play. Christian May is able to get underneath that. And so Brignan is retired with a foul ball that is caught by Christian May.
Number 15.
So first baseman Hangartner is coming up to bat. He did walk his last time at bat. And he has yet to put a ball in play to earn his way on. And there's a hit by pitch. So he is yet to earn a hit in this game. Salina has done a good job putting runners on base today, with earning walks and hit by pitch. Spencer Browning grabs
Number 7, third baseman Preston Baker.
rosin and throws it down. So Baker also is yet to put a ball in play. He has earned 3 times his way to first base, all with balls on base. Or base on balls, I guess I should say.
Tomato, tomato.
So we've got a 0-1 count here. Pitch over to first, and he gets caught sleeping. Hangartner gets picked off by Spencer Browning. So that hit by pitch will not come back to haunt Browning. Doing a little dirty business himself, catching Hangartner looking at home plate. Baker does take a swinging miss there for his 2nd strike. And for him to get his 4th base on balls, he's going to have to earn it. And we have a ball that was possibly low. Could not tell from my vantage point. But we do have a count of 1-2 with 2 outs here. So we've got a swinging miss. So Spencer Browning does what he was asked to do, and that is to keep Salina blank here in the 7th inning. So Pleasant Grove has work in front of them. We'll see what they can do as we go into the bottom of the 7th after this commercial.
Whether you're looking for a new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, or maybe a new or pre-owned boat or RV, care for a car wash, had a fender bender, or you need service on your vehicle, boat, or RV, we have it all when you let us exceed your expectations at Greg Orr Auto, Marine, and RV in Shreveport, Texarkana, and Ashdown. Shop hassle-free and always be treated like family while choosing from our sensational selection. In Shreveport, visit Orr Acura, or BMW, or Cadillac, or Infiniti, and the Greg Orr Pre-Owned Supercenter. In Texarkana, Mercedes-Benz of Texarkana, Classic Buick GMC, Classic Cadillac, Classic Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Classic Kia, Classic Mazda, Classic Pre-Owned, The Classic Car Wash, Greg Orr Marine and RV, Greg Orr Collision, and Classic Chevrolet in Ashdown. Or visit GregOrAuto.com.
Well, Pleasant Grove is once again going to have to face number 13, Brokel, who is got 18 pitches left for today's matchup with Pleasant Grove. And he's looking at, I guess, throwing every one of those. And Pleasant Grove, bottom of the order, is going to be asked a big task. So Buck Anderson here coming in and DH. And then he's going to be followed by Elrod and then Landon West.
The Hawks, number 23.
So Anderson, Elrod, West, and Boozer are going to have something to happen for Pleasant Grove to either extend this game or pull off a win with a walk-off here in the 7th inning facing the Salina Bobcats.
Beautiful curveball. For it to still be working here in the bottom of the 7th is very impressive here by Brokel.
Yeah, Anderson not able to get the bat on the ball. Brokel still looking good out there.
Another one. He's been nasty all game. He's been dominant all game. Besides that one to Spencer Browning, he's just been a very tough guy to get a hold of. Coach Fincher's going to come over here, talk to Buck, tell him to calm down after 2 big swing and misses there.
On his previous at bat, he also swung at one that was on the high side. And, Buck has been extremely good in high stressful situations so far this season. So Fincher just telling him to stay within himself and put the ball in play. Buck Anderson does take a low pitch for a called ball. And Brokel takes an extra step or two off the back of the pitcher's mound as he gathers himself, steps on the rubber. Anderson pulls his back early. And a swing and miss for Buck Anderson.
And that was one of the first times that we've really seen true emotion out of Brokel all night, but he was very fired up after getting that strikeout.
Well, that, I believe, is strikeout number 6 for Brokel. So Jay Selrod here being asked to put a ball in play or earn his way on first base with a walk. And that one is to the first base side, misplays it, but he does get it over to Brokel in time, just not able to beat out the throw. So Landon West has a lot on his shoulders to keep this game going. So it would have to come around to Brenton Clark to be the game-winning run.
Now batting number 21, left fielder Landon
and Boozer
West
could possibly be the tying run, but Landon West has all the work in front of him as Brokel delivers the first pitch. And that is going to be a swinging miss on one of those curveballs. Landon West tightens up both batting gloves and steps in. Brokel waves off the first call. And once that curveball, it's working, so he wants to keep throwing it. So Landon West, Brokel possibly down to the last pitch of this game. Landon West just looking to put this ball in play to extend this game. Brokel nods off 2 pitches. Wants the heater, but that one stays up high. Brokel once again takes a couple extra strides off the pitcher's mound to gather himself. That pitch puts him into the triple-digit range. So this pitch will be his 101st of today's matchup. A rip to the shortstop, backhands it, pitches a little high, but in time. So Salina does take game 1, where they win this one 3-1. And so Pleasant Grove is going to be looking to have an extra long game tomorrow in Prosper, Texas, as tomorrow's matchup for game 2 against these same Salina Bobcats is going to be at 2 o'clock. So for those of you making the trip out tonight, drive safe. And for those that are traveling tomorrow, stay out of mine and Doty's way as we travel to Prosper ourselves, as we try to extend this game two more times, so Pleasant Grove can
see you tomorrow at game 2.
Play Liberty Allo, hopefully, if Liberty Allo can pull off their game tonight. So I'll be rooting for Liberty Allo tonight and Pleasant Grove tomorrow. For those of you that watched our stream, we definitely appreciate your time and effort. And for those that were sponsors of today's game and our longtime sponsors, we thoroughly appreciate what you do for us to allow us to be able to bring this to the fans out there. Doty, any parting words?
Nope, looking forward to a couple great games tomorrow, and we hope to see you there. Pleasant Grove has their graduation tonight. We'll be streaming that to our page and Pleasant Grove's page as well, so make sure to tune in for that and see the commencement of these graduating seniors. But other than that, that's all I got, Jay. We'll see y'all tomorrow in Prosper.
Sounds good. Well, Prosper. Salina takes this one 3-1 and is leading this series 1-0 in a 3-game playoff.